Well, we're excited to bring you another Learning with Lindsay. Now, we've had a pretty strong severe weather season, and one of the things people notice is some really strong winds. Can you tell us a little bit of what causes that?
Well, a lot of what we've seen especially in the summertime, they're called microbursts or macrobursts, and they're downburst winds in a thunderstorm. So it causes some intense wind gusts. So as we go on to the next slide, it'll give a little definition. So basically, downburst thunderstorm winds are ground level winds that occur during a thunderstorm, but they can cause just as much damage as any tornado. In fact, some of these downbursts can have winds gusting up to 100 miles per hour, which is even up to an EF1 tornado. So it can cause a lot of damage, which we've seen, I believe, a couple weeks ago, Nevada had a bad storm. That was as a result of downburst thunderstorm winds. Now, they're typically classified into two types, a microburst or macroburst. Microbursts you can kind of see off in the distance. They're super small, isolated, and you can actually visually see a wet microburst as it comes out of a cloud. But you can also get wet or dry microbursts. Down in Arizona, they get a lot of dry microbursts because the atmosphere is very dry. So moving on to the next slide, it's going to show the initial stage of a towering cumulus cloud. And this is just what the thunderstorm is about to look like before anything happens. We've got our updraft, so you can see my little arrows. So that's just the air moving upwards as kind of creating this towering cloud. The next slide is going to be the mature stage of a cumulus or a thunderstorm development stage. So this is still showing that updraft, but the next slide we've got a downdraft and an updraft. And that downdraft is going to start to pull the rain down. So this is where we see a little bit of both. We're still getting that updraft, so the storm's still going, it's still pretty strong, but then you get that downdraft as well. Now finally, once we get to the point that a downburst would occur is in the decay stage of a thunderstorm. And that's typically what we're seeing a lot is these pop-up thunderstorms in the summertime. They pop up really quickly, and then finally in the last slide, it's going to show that downburst where all of it is just a downdraft, right? So the whole cloud basically collapses on itself, and you get these super quick downdrafts that you can kind of see where the turning of the winds is. It's just like all of it collapses on itself and then just shoots out in all directions. And this is where that downburst is going to come out, and those wind gusts can exceed 80 to 100 miles per hour right through here, and it can go on for 30 minutes or so or even longer, which is what we've seen a lot this summertime. And so that's what we've been getting a lot of, downburst winds or microbursts, macrobursts, and they're pretty common all over the US, and it doesn't matter necessarily the season, but that's what we've been getting a lot of this summertime.
Well, thank you so much, Lindsay. It's always great to get to learn with you. Now, 30 more minutes of news, weather, and sports are coming your way.